Now, what is going on with Tenpai continually opening up the red freaking reboots? What the hell? And we have Tenpai going second against Heroes. Now, we are abiding by the new ban list. So this dude doesn't have 2 Fusion Destiny, he's main decking 3. True, let's go.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Vying into Imperm Negate now. Red Reboot could negate an Impermanence if the hero player were to be the one with the red reboot. Obviously not. All right. And now let's follow up with our Destiny Fusion, which we're going to see a lot more hero players hard open up. That's absolutely disgusting. You're going to think it's no longer lucky if they play 3 of it. We're now summoning from the deck our Malicious to make our Cross Crusader. Cross Crusader is going to be reborning a Destiny hero from the graveyard. We are then going to be triggering Denier to return the Malicious that's banished back on the deck. We're going to tribute off Denier to search our deck for a hero, grabbing the Plasma. Malicious banished to summon from the deck another Malicious that we put back in the deck. Denier reborn for control. Malicious tribute 3/4 Plasma. What did we accomplish here? So the Plasma states that all face-up monsters are negated. Now, does that protect you the Sanguine Summoning, right? Who cares? Well, you should care because you're still negated. This protects you from activated effects only, and this is not an activated effect. So you're straight up skill drained, you are fully negated, no matter where you are, main phase, battle phase. What about Transcendent Dragon? Nope. Transcendent Dragon will also not stop the Plasma from negating you. We also have DPE to non-target pop a card on the field. So pop plus full Floodgate negate. Let's do it. Sanguine Summoning, Summoner Pydra negated, you up mate, Special Summon Chundra, come forth, set. We're now going to activate Searching for, again, Roku, discard the Ash Blossom. We simply just have to become bigger than 1900, which is a problem because DPE has this other effect of your opponent's monsters lose 200 for each hero in your graveyard, protecting your Plasma. Making Samurai Destroyer. Now, it's crazy about Samurai Destroyer, besides it being 1800, not even big enough to attack in the Plasma. If the Samurai Destroyer is destroyed by card effect, it comes back. If destroyed, leaves the field because of card effect, target a machine in the graveyard, reborn it, which would be itself, but who cares? It's at 1900. We are negated. So, yeah, we can't negate something that's already negating us. Yep, not negated. All right. DPE is going to be non-target popping a card in the field. Again, Roku's going to special summon. Now, what happens if we summon a Fadra and there isn't a Plasma on the field to negate it? Will Fadra activate? No. So this is my tip to you for Tenpai players or non-Tenpai players. If you're a non-Tenpai player and you have non-targeting removal like Steeds, DPE, and you see a Genroku in the field, activate it before they activate Genroku, because if they jump off of Genroku into Pydra, Pydra doesn't activate. They jump off into Fadra, Fadra doesn't activate. Now flip it. If you're the Genroku player, you probably are not doing this, toggle on. You summon Genroku, toggle on, don't let them respond with a non-targetable disruption. Chain special summon Genroku, so now when they have DPE or Steeds, they can't stop you from activating Fadra, activating the Pydra. So you are screwed in this scenario since we didn't do that. We're not even going, we don't care about your Chandra anyway. We don't care. And you're already negated from the Plasma. DPE, come back in the standby phase. You are still negated. And there's another effect of Plasma. If there's a body in the field, it gets sucking. It's going to hit you with that good suck up the monster, and then it will be even more difficult to deal with because it's going to get an attack boost. So let's speed this up. Reborn Denier with the Cross Crusader. Again, returning the Malicious. Tribute off. Search our deck for the Liquid Soldier. Malicious banish. Summon a Malicious from the deck. By the way, we have 3 Malicious. We can play 3 in today's event. Let's get to it. Infernal Devicer. Infernal Devicer reveals searching for Elemental Hero Neos, Polymerization, Chain DPE, take out the Sanguine Summoning. Sanguine Summoning does not protect the monster during the opponent's turn, so it was fine to good suck right then and there if we wanted to. Searching for a favorite contact, discard Raigeki, suck up the Chundra, 8950 damage on the freaking field. And just like that, Heroes with triple Malicious, triple Destiny Fusion, clapping up Tenpai. But what happens in game 2? Wait. Whoa. We, Tenpai, lost game 1. Tenpai game 2, we chose to go first on purpose. Wow. Heroes is that scary? You are so afraid of Heroes going first that you are choosing to go first yourself. That is absolutely insane. And we have no turn 1 play now. That's it. We just have Droplet and our Imperm plus our Max C. We have no actual Tenpai play. Pydra beyond searching does nothing. It's just going to protect you from battle damage. We're going to change the Foolish Burial. We're going to finger the Max C just like that. Now we're going to get popping off, and we have to just hope that the Imperm and Droplet are simply enough. Will they be? Hopefully. Let's see. New post-ban list heroes. Let's go. Send for the next Shadow Mist to grab a Stratos. Sure, Stratos on summon, search our deck for a hero. Imperm, negate. I don't think so, mate. Now, what are you afraid of with hero searching? You're afraid of them searching for a Ferris or something to discard with Ferris. Well, they already have Malicious plus Ferris, which is one of the best turn 1 play combos. And this is what I talk about. Bait your opponent with your non-play. Identify the play in your hand, keep it in your back pocket, throw a bunch of other BS at your opponent. They waste their disruptions on your other BS, then whip out your real play, which this is it. Malicious after being discarded, we're going to be banishing something Malicious from the deck. Come forth and link it up into our Infernal Devicer. And now we're not sure when we should use our Droplet. Reveal, search our deck for an elemental hero as we now tribute off the special summon our Increase. Increase activating to summon from the deck a Vian. Vian send from the deck to the grave a hero. Banish from the grave, grab a Polymerization. We are really holding on to the Droplet. Holy moly. So many effects on just that Vian. Generally, the Vian is the choke point of the deck where you want to stop the Increase from summoning it. That would be a really good Ash. Imperming onto the Vian could also be good. We're going to tribute off, search our deck for a Liquid Soldier. If used for a fusion, we're going to draw 2, discard 1, which will give us the ability to randomly draw into something like a Mass Change. As we now make a Wonder Driver, which will recycle our Polymerization from the graveyard after summoning behind it. We're now going to be banishing a Malicious, come forth and summon. And look at that. Malicious, Malicious, Malicious. 3 Malicious, and it's semi-limited. You what, mate? Because it's unlimited from the latest ban list. Let's go. As we now summon our DPE with the Polymerization, making sure to not use it into the Imperm column. We're now activating DPE to non-target pop a card in the field. Tenpai gave up. Bro, we gave up. Nope, we didn't even Droplet. We just like, you got this, bro. I'm not gonna even surrender. Just show me what heroes could do. Morningstar taking notes. Morningstar is gonna take Thytos D, I think so. Definitely, that's what I'd be doing after this duel. Damn. I'd message my opponent, said, bro, just give me your deck list, man, please. Draw 2, discard hero lives, dead, tribute come forth, then summon a Sunrise. Sunrise searching for a Miracle Fusion. Miracle Fuse, fuse with the graveyard, come forth, Shining Neos Wingman. Holy moly, 6,800 on summon, take out the Pydra. 14,000 plus damage, post-ban list heroes. We are back, triple Malicious, triple Fusion Destiny. Let's go. Tour Guide, activate summon for the deck, nothing. Of course, we're going to Veiler, negate that Tour Guide before we even figure out what the hell they were planning on doing. Probably just setting up the Xyz Armor situation where we would draw 1 with Torpedo, search for the Xyz Armor, giving us the ability to non-target suck up a card. As we do have the Dino Mischief, which could discard the transaction rollback to banish a face-up card. So on the activation of the effect, that's when you would want to activate to banish it, so another copy would not be activatable. We now have Low, Follow Up, Chain Needlebug Nest. We do have transaction rollback in the graveyard to copy any trap in the grave. Are you ready? We're doing it. No, we're not doing it. I thought we were going to copy transaction rollback on the Dino Mischief. We're actually just chaining it onto the field here. Needlebug sent from the deck. We want a more powerful card like maybe the Daruma. We can now copy Daruma with transaction rollback. We're going to be setting up the Radiance to summon from the deck a Sarvis non-ritual. To battle we go. Needlebug Nest again. We're going to chain special summon from the deck, maybe a Skull Guardian or a Sarvis ritual. Probably Skull Guardian for the negate. Now the Skull Guardian can negate a transaction rollback. So what do we do? Let's see what we have in the graveyard here. Big Welcome is activatable, but if we don't have a level 8 or higher monster that's a fiend, we can't spin back the opponent's monster. That's definitely a problem. Otherwise, the transaction rollback will get negated by the Skull Guardian. We're going to Fiendish Rhino, send from the deck a Backjack, which could set a trap off the top of our deck, and it's activatable that turn. Set Daruma, activate Daruma. Let's freaking do it. He's going to negate. We have transaction rollback, mate. So we can just do it again. There we go, just like that, using up their negate. And we're gonna Big Welcome, spin back Tour Guide to our hand, sure. And then transaction rollback, copy the effect of Daruma, flipping the whole field face down. Very well done. Now, big problem is there can only be one. And the Paleozoics are considered to be aquas, so there could only be one aqua. There could only be one fiend. So tour guide wanting to summon another fiend, that's going to get completely screwed up. What could we summon off of these two to deal with there can only be one? Well, if we have some way to make a Little Knight, but with an extra deck monster, that would be ideal. So Linkuriboh, if the Paleozoics are level 1, which it's not, which would have been a good play. So we are in a really bad spot here. Tour Guide activate, chain, there could only be one fiend on the field. We're going to chain Dino Mistress from the graveyard, so now if we flip up the one on field, it's going to just be sent to the grave. Oh boy, how do we deal with this? What is the out? What the heck is that? Huh? Karnot the Eternal Machine must be special summoned from your hand or graveyard during a duel. During a duel in which your opponent has activated a monster effect in their hand or graveyard? What? What the hell is this? If your opponent activates a monster effect, you can make this card gain 1,000. Huh? Take out the Skull Guardian with the Karnot Machine. I have not seen anyone use that. That is wild. Is this a new cool tech to have in mill decks? We're going to use the Radiance of Voiceless to search our deck for a Saphira by returning back a ritual monster. Saphira send itself plus a ritual spell from the deck to the grave. Search our deck for our Skull Guardian. Now, Karnot is going to trigger, boost up 4,000. It's not doing anything beyond that. We're now going to chain Morella, send from the deck a trap. And a good trap to generally send with Morella is transaction rollback to copy another trap in grave. So what trap's going to deal with that? There can only be one, though. That's the big problem. Well, we could copy the effect of a Dino Mistress if there was one in the freaking graveyard. Instead, we're going to copy the effect of Canadia to flip face down the Skull Guardian, flip it down before it's able to negate. Get Flip and Mate, come forth and summon the Low. Low will now be able to trigger, set up a continuous spell into our back row. Blessing's going to return a Banished or Engraved card back to our hand. If you're playing against Little Knight and you see a Blessing, make Little Knight to banish this. Holy moly, you really have to get rid of this. It's their main recursion. They're continually recycling. You banish this, they're in big trouble. And I'm not talking about Barrier. We're talking about Blessing. Banish the Blessing with Little Knight. Well, how are we going to do that with there can only be one? And we're now going to be tributing off Skull Guardian for a Skull Guardian with the trap only allowing one type of monster in the field. That is Fairy, that is Warrior, that is Dragon. Voiceless Voice is able to play this super toxic Floodgate without fear. We're going to discard Maxi, fuse with our hand here into a Mood Dragon. Huh? The hell are we doing here? What the heck is going on? We just got rid of our field for a Mood Dragon? Huh? Okay, we just lost our Anya Negate. You what, mate? Something super sus about that. We're going to be using our Radiance, return deck, search for a Saphira. Now, Fiend Griefing, target a monster in your opponent's graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, which is actually good against Voiceless. If they're activating Low in the graveyard to Reborn, just spin it back. Or Fiend Griefing, spin back the Saphira before it activates to perform the ritual summon. There's a lot of good things you can do with it. It's simply pretty much a DD Crow. Come forth and summon from the deck with the Sarvis, our Skull Guardian, which this is when you would spin the Low back into the deck after it triggers. So it's going to activate right here. If we had Fiend Griefing still, we would then spin it back so it does not summon. Unfortunately, we spun back the Saphira instead. I think we're going to be screwed anyway. Backjack is looking at the top 3 cards of our deck. We could then banish to set whatever trap we want off the top of our deck. Of course, we're going to scoop this up. This is way too much to deal with. I think the Floodgate stole the duel. I think so. Yeah, I think we had plays. Tour Guide got stopped by it. We had Paleozoics that we could have exceeded or even made links with. Damn. Let's go. Holy moly, set 4, pass, ain't no way. What the heck is this? We got Needlebug Nest, mill 5, big welcome Labyrinth. I think Labyrinth is one of the cooler ways to play the Paleozoic deck. Makes it a lot more interesting, I'd say. We've got a Wabaku in the graveyard now. Wabaku, great against Tenpai Dragon, sure. And now if you chain to any of our trap cards, the Arius will Reborn from the graveyard. Big welcome, come forth, chain the Maxi, chain the Arius from the graveyard, come forth and summon, as we now can return the Arius back for, let's say, a Lovely. Then Lovely could pop a card in the hand. So you think you're chain link blocking the trap from a Paleozoic Reborning from the grave, which you are, but it also plays right into the Arius. We summoned a lady instead, so with the lady we could set whatever trap we want as long as we are not chain link blocked from a trap activation. Now, the activation of the trap card versus activation of the trap effect. Lady cannot chain to the effect, Lady can only chain to the card, so only on field does Lady directly chain to the card. Now, this is the window where we are not going to be able to make any plays once they're able to negate. So we're going to be flipping up the full heights, chain the Lady, set a trap, chain the trap trick, chain the Morella reborn from the graveyard. Let's get to it. Let's do it. Now, the full height, you mostly just want it in the graveyard. That's the main play. As we set up from the deck our Dino Mistress, which will be able to banish a face-up card in the field. The barrier with the face-up low and ritual monster will make it so our monsters that are light are completely untargetable and will only be able to banish the back row. Right now, the Skull Guardian has an active negate. We are ready, mate. And we can only activate one trap for the rest of this turn. One of the traps is not activatable. Only the one set off of the trap tricks is activatable. We have Diviner, Poppin, I believe the card that was set off of Trap Trick, so Daruma, goodbye. As we now make a Skull Guardian number 2, double Skull Guardian, but only one negate. It is a hard once per turn activation. Summon the Sarvis non-ritual, to battle we go. Full height is activating. Now, what's the full height doing? You banish this card, target a monster. Your opponent's monsters cannot attack for the rest of the turn except to attack that monster. So this monster now leaves the field. You can no longer attack. That's it, no more attacking. So, there you go. Can't attack. Couldn't swing in. We go to main phase 2 into Dynamundo. The Lady is untargetable here, so we're going to go for the Dino Mistress, chain the Arius to set up an Elemental Burst. Huh? We just want Arius in the graveyard? We popped the wrong card? Are you serious? I assumed that we popped the card that was activatable, not the Daruma. The Lady set Daruma, which wasn't even activatable. The Dino Mistress was set with the Trap Tricks, which was activatable and is, as we're activating it right here, right now. We're going to chain the Radiance to the Dino Mistress, attempting to banish it. So it's going to pop itself instead of being banished, that is. As we then summon from the deck a Ritual Sarvis, and we had to discard a card. So there was no card to set with the Arius. It was just to get it into the graveyard. Okay. What do we do here? We have Omni Negate plus Negate and Inherent Special Summon. So if we are to Xyz or Link, it's just going to get negated and banished. That's it. Dynamundo, Reborn, our Skull Guardian. Oh boy. Set Morella pass. Now there's Cope here. Morella could send transaction rollback could copy the Elemental Burst. By copying the Elemental Burst, you do the very simple effect of destroy all cards your opponent controls. Everything gets destroyed. The tribute effect gets skipped by the transaction rollback. Holy moly, but there's a negate. We are going to be searching for the blessing with the barrier, set up the blessing. All our light monsters are completely untargetable. Knowing that we have the ability to attempt to destroy their whole field, but it would simply be negated, we just scoop it up. 2-0 victory. Let's go.